Hey, welcome everybody. This is Mark Dannenberg with Options Moneymaker. Today is January 27th, and this is the Options Moneymaker Q&A. So before we get started here, Christian, I see you're in the room. If you're paying attention, could you just do a quick sound check for me? Just make sure that I'm coming through okay. Oh, Rodrigo, thank you. Christian, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Michael and Aaron are both away this evening. Usually they give me a quick sound check just to make sure everything's working fine. So I appreciate that, both of you. All right, so if you're brand new to the Q&A, I just want you to understand that our purpose in spending this time with you, making ourselves available, is to help you learn to trade. Each of you has expressed an interest in trading to earn money, whether that is for a full-time income, a part-time income, extra money, growing your own personal wealth, whatever it may be. But we very much focus on learning to trade first before jumping in and trading live money. We provide a variety of tools to help you do that. The adaptive entry system is for identifying trends. That's the chart signals. The adaptive entry system provides 4 different signals that we use to identify trending movements, momentum movements. The live trading room, which we host every day from 8:45 a.m. Eastern to sometime between 3 and 4 Eastern, is for real-time trading and support. So you can look over our shoulder, you can follow right along with Michael and Aaron and myself as we identify trade opportunities through the adaptive entry system, the signals, and we call those out in the room, in addition to fractals. And Michael provides a wealth of information also in terms of price targets and wave counts and where we are in the pattern. And Aaron is very, very solid in her knowledge of both futures trading as well as options trading. So it's a great place to spend some time and really learn how to immerse yourself in trading if that's what you're interested in doing. We provide a futures trading education course. This is all about learning the risk and reward of futures. A lot of people will start to trade. They've traded stocks before, so they decide they want to jump into options or jump into futures, don't really understand what they're doing, and they get themselves into trouble, and then they draw the conclusion that this doesn't really work, can't really make money doing this. That is such an unfortunate misnomer, and there are 2 things that I think are required before you ever put your first live dollar of risk out into a futures trade or an options trade, both of which we teach. Number 1 is learn. Go through an education course, whether it's through us or some other provider, but don't just read a book on your own. Actually go through a course where things are explained to you. Futures trading education and options trading education are not expensive to learn, but it's very expensive when you don't learn. The second thing is, no matter what you choose to trade or what your personal style trading is, trade for, I'm going to just say, about a month. Sometimes it's as little as a week, sometimes it's a few months, but trade with a simulated account with not real money, so that you can practice, make mistakes, and not have it hurt and damage your portfolio. I've had so many people come back to me and say the best piece of advice you ever gave me, Mark, was to trade in sim mode before I ever started live. I made so many mistakes trading in sim mode, and I didn't have the stress and pressure of that loss weighing on me. I acknowledged the error I made. I learned how to do it. You know what, folks, you're going to make some mistakes when you first start out. It's all about moving yourselves towards the goal, which is to trade to earn, but you need to learn to trade first. And then we also provide a personal trading plan for tracking your personal profit performance. I look at trading for each of you as an individual business. It's your own personal small business. You look at it as a business, and it completely changes your attitude towards trading. So many traders come to the market every day feeling like a gambler. They talk about, their excitement about trading. They talk about their discouragement about trading. And I'm saying it's a business. I've run small businesses and I've managed $500 million businesses, divisions. And both of them come with one common denominator, and that is at any given point in time, I want to be able to forecast out into the future what my current run rate will result in. So my run rate is how have I been performing to date, whatever period of time I'm measuring. And if I'm performing well to date, meaning I am on pace to make a profit, I understand where my sales are coming from in a traditional business, I understand where my expenses are coming from, or in your case, in trading, I understand how I derive the profits and I understand some of the losses that I took, but I'm on pace to make a profit. And if I take that run rate and I project it forward for 52 weeks, 12 months, I can have some idea of what my overall profit and income could be for 12 months. I believe that that is one key ingredient for being a successful trader. It allows you to take days like we've had where, we've had sizable losses for the day and you feel like you're kind of beat up, but you plug it into your personal trading plan and go, okay, I understand where this blends into my overall performance now. And instead of being focused on today, I'm focused on the averages and the run rates. Not every single day is going to be a winning day. We have losing days, but if we can blend them all together and we can look at that run rate for a 12-month period, forecast out, and we like the result, then we are on track to be a successful trader. So personal trading plan is vitally important. And I'm going to go ahead and do an update here real quick before we get to Q&A. And the last thing is, if you're interested in trading options, we've got an excellent options education course called Profit Builder Plus, and it really dives deeply into the very basics of options all the way to advanced spread strategies. So as I mentioned, the personal trading plan is, in my opinion, one of the most important parts of being a successful trader. So what we do here is we track the detail of every single trade. So if you're not familiar with what we do, we are tracking, I'm going to pull up a chart here. We start every day in the live trading room at 8:45 a.m. Eastern, and we have up a chart of the NASDAQ 100 futures using a 5-minute chart. So this is the NASDAQ 100 futures 5-minute chart. Now the reason we do that is because it is a equity and a time frame that does a great job of consistently producing profits for us in terms of run rates projected forward. Now, you can trade it on 10 minutes, you can trade it on 3 minutes, you can trade ES, you can trade RTY, you could trade stocks, you can trade stock options. You can use the adaptive entry system for any of those methods of trading, but we focus on NASDAQ 100 futures on a 5-minute chart because it gives us enough activity to help you understand how to interpret the signals, how to respond to the signals, how to move away from the signal, how to manage the trade that you're in, and you get a lot of experience. And then if you decide you want to trade something else, you might want to trade gold, silver, oil, whatever you choose to trade, the method is still the same in terms of interpreting the adaptive entry system signals. All right, so once we have our performance for the day, or we start trading for the day, we log every single trade. We log the time the signal came on, whether it was a short or long, that we're taking it off of a 5-minute chart, what the strategy was. This T plus means it was a continuation trade, and what the profit or loss it was in terms of points. Now we show in terms of points, this trade happened to be a 5-point profit, and each point, each 1 point on NQ is equivalent to $20 of profit or loss, $20 per point per contract. So this happened to be a $100 profit trade. And then the next trade is a $200 profit trade. And then here we had a $400 losing trade. So we just take the signals. We profile mostly from 7 to the end of the day. This one almost 3 o'clock, just a little bit before 3 was the last signal we took today. And then at the end of the day, we take a look at what the result was. We don't get too preoccupied with losing trades. I heard some people this morning were kind of moaning about the 3 back-to-back losing trades. That happens. look at the next several trades. We're all winning trades. And what we do is we encourage you to stay focused on the big picture. If you want to keep trading, then trade and just continue to take the signals until you hit your goal. And that goal might be a losing goal or it might be a winning goal. So then we take that information, we summarize it into a daily performance summary. And we have two categories that we track in our personal trading plan. One is from 9:30 to noon, taking all the adaptive entry system signals, and one is from 7 a.m. Eastern to 4 p.m. Eastern, whenever we quit trading, just taking the trend bias and the continuation signals. Now, there are different categories. You know, one is only 2 of the 4 signals, and the other one is all 4 signals. This one is only 2.5 hours of trading, and this one is a much longer extended period of trading. So you have to choose what's right for you and your personal trading business. Today, we actually earned 65 points of profit in the 9:30 to noon category. Now that's pretty exciting, considering if you go back to the detail and realize that we opened at 8:45, and looking from 8:50 on, we had those initial trades, and then 9:30 to noon, if you started trading with us right in that first 45 minutes before the regular market session opened, you might have felt this wasn't going to be a very good day. But then look at the number of winning trades that we had all back to back. So 65 points, we did 10 trades, 9:30 to noon, 100% winners at 9:30 to noon. Now in the other category, trend bias and continuation signals, we actually lost 28 points today. The trends were not as productive for us today. And that was 12 trades. We had a 67% win rate today. So we take this information, and this is where we then pull it into our personal trading plan. If you've not seen the format before, this is the format for the personal trading plan, where everything shaded in blue are the weeks, days that we've already finished. We've already traded those. So we haven't done an update since Friday, but I went ahead and filled in the performance for Monday and Tuesday, and then I'm going to go ahead and fill in today's performance. So there's 2 tabs here, one for the 7 to 4 trend bias and continuation. And in that category, as I said, we lost 28 points. It's $20 a point, and then we are trading 3 contracts. So it's 28 times 20, $20 a point, times 3. So our loss today was $1,680 in this category. We traded 12 times, and with 3 contracts per trade. So there's a total of 36 contracts traded. And then we put a 3 in the contract override to lock in the fact that we've traded 3 contracts on this day. Now I'm going to jump over to our other category, and I'm going to fill in that data first before we do an evaluation. I've already filled in Monday and Tuesday here. Monday we did $600. Tuesday we did $1,875. And today we did 65 points at $20 a point, times 3 contracts was a $3,900 day for us between 9:30 and noon. And there were 10 trades at 3 contracts per trade, so it's 30 contracts. Oops. Gonna then lock our 3. All right, so I'm going to start here and do a evaluation for you. There's 4 numbers up here that I'm using. This first one tells me that of our 52-week plan, we've now completed 29.6 weeks. So we're through the first 29.5 weeks of our 52-week plan. During that 29.6 weeks, we've had 48 losing days. We want to be very aware of what our winning days are and our losing days. We keep track of our losing days. By default, everything else is a winning day. So we've had 48 losing days. Now we can take those numbers plus the averages of our winning days and losing days, and we can calculate what our average winning day and our average losing day is. And these numbers are not just straight averages of wins and losses. They are an average with the factor of the frequency rate of wins and the frequency rate of losses considered in that formula. So these numbers represent our actual run rate. they represent what we've actually done for the first 29.6 weeks. We're almost through 30 weeks of a 52-week plan. And these numbers will change a little bit from day to day, but not that much now that we're this far into the plan. I have no idea where we're going to end up for 52 weeks, but I can have a reasonable projection if I'm the owner of this business, this personal trading business, and I'm trading from 9:30 to noon. I'm just going to plug my data in every day, and I'm going to let the numbers fall where they may. So now the most important thing here is to take those run rate numbers. Those are the averages that we've achieved to date. And I'm going to put those numbers in these two categories because these two categories represent what the forecast is going forward for the balance of the 52-week plan, the 52-week financial forecast. So 21.81 is our positive day average performance, and minus 40.11 is our negative day performance. So when we take a look at those forecast numbers that marry up to the actual performance numbers, and we limit ourselves to no more than 3 contracts, which is what we're trading now, then my income is forecasting right now, as we're almost through 30 weeks, income is forecasting at just over $140,000 for a 12-month period, and we started with $5,000 in this account. So I think that that's pretty strong. That's pretty powerful. Let's jump over to the other category. It's going to be a little different. So we're going to go up and take a look at those same numbers. 29.6 weeks. We started at exactly the same time. 45 losing days during those 29.6 weeks in this category. Our average winning day is 28.49, and our average losing day is 33.6. So we're going to move those numbers into the forecast field, and 28.49 and minus 33.6. If we maintain 3 contracts, no more than 3 contracts, our income is potentially headed for $243,831. That's even though we've got losing days. Look at these losing days in here, but look at all the winning days that we have in here. It's all about the averages, folks. And frankly, if that average came down and we ended up finishing less than 243,000, I think it's going to be a pretty strong number. I can't guarantee anything, but I still think it's going to be a pretty strong number. And once again, in this account, we started with $5,000 in the first week of July. So 5,000 to 243,000. Again, we don't know what it's going to be. Our performance day to day, whether it's positive or negative, is going to influence our averages. Our actual averages are going to influence our forecast going forward for the balance of the 52-week plan. And we will just see what the day looks like. One last thing I just want to share with you, especially for those of you who might just be visiting. We have 2 limiters in terms of how much risk we put into the market. The first one is 10%. So each contract that we trade requires a certain amount of margin. And when we trade it in Infinity Futures, that's $500 of margin per contract. So 3 contracts requires $1,500 of margin. You have to have $1,500 available in your account. Well, we want to be what I consider to be ultra conservative. And so we only use 10% of the balance of the account towards contracts, towards the margin required for those contracts. So I would need $15,000 in the account. 10% of that is $1,500. Each contract requires $500, so I could trade up to 3 contracts. So as your account grows and you decide you're really comfortable with your run rate, you're comfortable with having managed your emotions, you're comfortable with having managed your understanding, and you really feel like you know what you're doing, continue to do everything that you've been doing and forecast forward, but you can also influence your outcome for the course of a year, even though we're over halfway through the 12-month plan, by changing the number of contracts. You are in control of the number of contracts you want to trade. First of all, you're limited by the personal trading plan to no more than 10%, and that's a variable. It's highlighted in blue. You can change it to whatever you choose. You can change it to 20%, change it to 100%. I don't think that would be wise, but we leave ours at 10. But the other thing is you can just flat out increase the number of contracts and it will still remain less than 10% of the balance of your account, no matter what number you put in there, until the account grows. So if I said today, I'm really comfortable with what I'm doing, I want to increase my contracts to a maximum of 10, well, it dramatically increases your 12-month return. It doesn't change anything that has already transpired for the first 29.6 weeks. It only changes going forward. You can see that the 3 contracts is locked in there. That's why we put the 3 in the contract override. And then tomorrow we'd start trading 10 contracts if that's what we wanted to do. But that gets you to almost $500,000, having started with $5,000. Again, this is a variable that you are completely in control of, and not 30. And I think that 3 is plenty for right now, but that is a variable that you are completely in control of. So let's jump back here. It is important to update that every day. And if you're not feeling very confident in what you're doing during the day, plug your current day's performance, wherever you are in the day, into your personal trading plan. Just take a look at where it's forecasting you now, because it's no longer about today. If you're focused on the personal trading plan, it's about the big picture 12-month view, and make a decision about whether or not maybe you just stop for the day and come back at it again tomorrow. I just want to give this one perspective. I shared this a couple of Q&As ago, but a lot of traders struggle with the emotional side of risk and losses. First of all, the personal trading plan, I think, helps you see the big picture. It helps you understand when is enough, helps you understand what a reasonable profit target is for the day or a loss target is, and it just shows you at any given time when you input your data what your potential 52-week income is. Our personal trading plan from the live trading room, as you just saw, shows 52-week income potential of somewhere around 100. I think it just updated 140 to 240,000, somewhere around there. And remember, we just started with $5,000 for each account. This is not, a pipe dream. This isn't get rich quick. This is about hard work, discipline of learning, discipline of being present with the market, allowing us to help you in the live trading room know when to enter trades, when not to enter trades, to discuss and learn and grow one day at a time. But this is just a little tidbit I thought was interesting. According to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, the median household income in the U.S. is $78,500. We have a 52-week personal trading plan right now showing that we started with $5,000, and that in as little as 2.5 hours per day, we're on pace to earn somewhere, I think it was $140,000, having just updated that. So there's a big opportunity here. Trading can be a very profitable, very productive business of your own. And if you look at it as a business and not as a game, not as a gambling, not as a hope and a prayer, if you find yourself holding your breath during every trade, you probably ought to go to sim mode. You ought to trade in sim mode for 30 days and not go to live money until you feel that you are generating the type of income that you feel confident in generating and you understand how that's happening.